Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome in. Good to see you. It is the last stream of 2025. We're gonna do something a little different tonight on stream, something I haven't done before. So tonight we're gonna rank all of the games. Well, we're gonna score them. Gonna give them a score between 0 and 20. Okay, and then we're gonna rank each game based on its score. So let's go take a look at, I made a fancy chart here so you can see, like, where's my mouse cursor? The joys of having a triple monitor set up. You never know which monitor the mouse cursor is going to be on. So you can see I have four categories for each game, right? We've got fun, just the general, how much fun did I have while playing the game. Replayability is, do I see myself playing the game again, whether on stream or off stream, just whether or not it's a game I feel like I could see myself replaying. Gameplay is kind of just generic, like, you know, how are the controls? You know, is it a janky game? And then I put sound in. I was gonna do music, just because, like, music, one in general as a musician is super important to me, but especially in video games, music's important. But I also wanted to include, you know, sound effects, things like that. So I just rolled both of those into sound. 4 categories, 5 points, up to 5 points each. We'll total them up, and then, you know, based on the total score for the game, once we have all of that, then we'll go over here to this tiered list that I made. And we have all the games down here. Based on how many points they have is where we will rank it. All right, so let's go. Blaster Master. How much fun did I have? Blaster Master was a lot of fun. It's a difficult game, not impossible. Not as hard as Journey to Silius. I will say that. It's definitely a 4. I'm trying to decide if I think it's a 5 in fun. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 5 in fun. As far as replayability, I mean, generally I think overall it's not something that I would replay a lot. But if I did replay it, like, I would still have fun with it, you know? So I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't see myself going back to it anytime soon. Doesn't mean I wouldn't. Gameplay, that's a 4. Easy. You know, it's another game that kind of suffers from the NES slowdown, but it's not as bad as some other games. But yeah, I think it's a 4. And then sound is a 5. Easy. Naoki Kadaka. I'm hoping, I always pronounce his name that way, and I don't know if it's actually correct. Naoki Kadaka. Amazing composer. I think he did most, if not all, Sunsoft games. Super good composer. So yeah, so there we go. We've got 10, 14, 17. Okay. Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. So this was a point and click game, but I'm a huge point and click adventure fan. The game was kind of silly. It had a good story. Story was all right. Well, no, I'd say the story was good. The writing was okay. Voice acting was good in it. And yeah, I mean, I'll say it was a 4 in fun. Replayability, there are a lot of point and click adventure games that I will replay. I can replay anytime and have as much fun playing it as any of the times before. Like The Secret of Monkey Island, I could play that game. I could play it every week and I would never get tired of it. This game, probably not so much. I think I would give it a 2, because honestly, unless for some reason I did, like, I don't know, some stream where I was like replaying previously beaten games, I probably would not go back and play this. But if I did replay it, I would have fun with it. So that's why it's not a 0 or a 1. Gameplay, honestly, I think point and click adventure games are generally, I don't know if easier to develop is the right word, but I can't really think of a point-and-click adventure game that has bad gameplay, because it's pretty simple gameplay. So I'm gonna give it a 5. And then sound was okay. It wasn't anything special. It wasn't like, there wasn't any music that stood out. I'm gonna give it a 3 because it was just okay. So let's see, we got 3, 5, 8, 10, 14. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This game, even without discussing it, 5. Fun is a 5. Like, I had a ton of fun with that game. Can't really think of like any negatives, like as far as how much fun I had with it. Like, I had as much fun with it as you can with a video game, I guess. Replayability, again, a game that I would probably not revisit anytime in the future, but if I did, I would have a lot of fun with it. But if I'm gonna apply the same criteria as like Blaster Master, I said the same thing. Like, I don't see myself jumping back into it anytime soon. Like, if I replay in 2026, I'd be very surprised. But if I did, I'd have fun with it. So that's gonna be a 3. Gameplay, again, is a very, very well made game. PlayStation 1 game. It I can't think of any like bugs or anything that really hindered the game. It was pretty solid. I'm gonna give it a 4. And then sound, this game had really, really good music, like especially in the I don't know, there's a clip of it in my like intro, the one song, what's it, I think it's, oh yeah, Wandering Ghosts. Hold on, this one. Yeah, like this song was so good. I would probably, you know, considering the music, although I should consider this, the first half of the game, the music, which this is in, is like 10 out of 10, but the second half, when you do the upside down castle, like I feel like the music kind of took a nosedive. Like, it's not like bad, but all the songs in the first half of the game are so good. I'm gonna give it a 4. If the music in the second half of the game was as good as the first half, it'd be a 5, easy, but it's not, in my opinion. So let's see, what do we got? 8, 12, 16. All right, Conquests of the Longbow, The Legend of Robin Hood. This was a Sierra game, or it is a Sierra game that I played during Sierra Summer. And I actually never played it before prior to when I played it on stream. It was a pretty good game. It was not nearly as silly as a lot of Sierra games are. It definitely took itself a little bit more serious. I guess because it's, you know, the story of Robin Hood, but yeah, they definitely didn't. I mean, there's a little bit of humor in it, but not a ton. So as far as fun goes, I mean, it was a point and click adventure game. You know, as a player, there's not really a lot to do. You literally point and click. That's the whole thing. The story, I mean, it's the story of Robin Hood, so it was okay. They didn't really stray much from the story of Robin Hood. The graphics were good, but I don't know. This is probably a 3. Replayability, that's a 0. I'm just gonna say, because I don't see myself ever replaying it, and if I did, I would have less fun replaying it than I did the first time, and I'm only giving it a 3 for fun. So replayability is like, yeah. Gameplay, I mean, it's a 4. It's hard to, like, a point-click adventure game has to be really poorly developed for the gameplay to be bad. Because, yeah, like I said, you literally, all you do is you point and you click. Sound, I'm gonna give it a 2 because the game didn't really have a lot of sound. There was almost no music from what I recall, and much of the game is, actually all of the game is outside, like you're in like the woods, and so there's like random, like, you know, outdoors sound effects, you know, maybe like a bird chirping or winds, leaves rustling in the wind, and that was about it. Yeah, it was all right. So let's see, we got 3, 4, 7, so 9. Lowest scored game so far. So Crash Bandicoot, man, when did I play that? That was this past summer, I think. So how much fun did I have playing it? Fun. I had a good amount of fun with it. It was a difficult game in some parts, but overall, I think I would give it a 4 out of 5. Replayability. So I did not collect all of the gems. I think it was gems. But do I see myself replaying it? Honestly, no. But if I did replay it again, would I have fun with it? Yes. So for that, I'll give it a 4 on replayability. Gameplay, I'm gonna give it a 3. Because I feel like I remember there are a lot of times, and again, it may just be like, I had a depth perception problem with that game. And I don't know if that was so much a result of the game or just playing an older, you know, kind of platforming game with my old man eyes. You know, like sometimes when you get older, like games that were easy when you were younger are a lot harder. It was specifically the levels where you were running behind Crash Bandicoot or he was running towards the camera. And then sometimes even in the regular side-scrolling levels, like things where you had to jump, like it was hard to tell like where he was for me. So gameplay is a 3, but a lot of that might be just my own fault. Sound, I honestly don't remember it being particularly memorable. Like I'm even right now struggling to think of any of the songs from the game. So like, if I can't even remember a song, like, oh man, that level had really good music. Like for instance, the song that's playing now from Journey to Silius, where earlier we were talking about the one level in, well, it's, you know, one area in Symphony of the Night that had like had that really good song that just stuck with me forever. Crash Bandicoot didn't have that. The sound effects in the game were okay. Again, they weren't anything outstanding. They're pretty standard for a platforming game. But again, nothing about it was particularly memorable. So I'm gonna give it a 2. It seems a little low, but 3 seems too high. So we got, let's see, we got 4, 4, we got 8, 10, 13. Crash Bandicoot. All right, so Doom 64. Now, I love Doom, grew up with Doom, started my love of first-person shooters. In Doom 64, this was also a first-time play playthrough for me when I streamed it. And the reason why I actually never played this game prior is because I always just thought it was the first Doom game ported to the N64. I didn't know it was a completely entirely different game. In fact, I didn't even realize that till I started playing it. But fun, I had a blast. Is a 5. Replayability, would I replay it again? See, again, it's a game where I don't think I would purposely choose to replay it, but if I did, I would have fun. We're gonna give it a 3. Gameplay. So again, this is things like, are the controls janky? Are there, you know, various bugs or whatever in the game? I didn't find it particularly difficult. Now, I did play it on emulator, but I did play it with an N64 controller. So even though I didn't play it on original hardware, I was using an N64 controller. So gameplay, I'm gonna give it a 4. And then sound, I mean, it sounded like a Doom game. It didn't, you know, N64, I always feel like audio's generally, I don't know, lacking compared to, honestly, Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis. But I don't feel like the Doom is kind of game where I don't feel like it really suffered too much from that. I'm gonna give it a 3. The sound was just, this is a Doom game. There's nothing special about the audio for Doom games, in my opinion. Maybe it's just because I've played them all to death and I'm used to it. Maybe I'm desensitized to it, but I think a 3. It's middle of the road to me. So we got 15 points, total points there for Doom 64. So Full Throttle. Another point-and-click adventure game from LucasArts. One of my favorite games of all time. So some of this might be biased. Fun. It's a 5. It's a game that I would purposely choose to replay it. Kind of like I was talking about The Secret of Monkey Island. I could play it all the time and have just as much fun as any of the other times that I've played it. I would never get bored of it. Again, go on replayability, 5. Gameplay, I will say there are moments in the game where, you know, you have to like kind of pixel hunt, you know, to click on things the right, in the right spot. I'm gonna go a 4. And then sound is a 5. The voice acting is amazing. Mark Hamill plays the villain. You wouldn't even know it was Mark Hamill unless somebody told you, maybe. And then it has a really awesome heavy metal soundtrack by, is it the Gone Jackals? Yeah, the Gone Jackals. They did the soundtrack. It's really good music. So this is our first almost perfect game. Got a 19 out of 20. So Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers. This was another Sierra adventure game. So let's see. Gabriel Knight, Sins of the Fathers, another point-and-click adventure. There's going to be a lot of point-and-clicks on this list because last January we did Lucas Fest, which was all point-and-click adventure games for the whole month. And then in June we did Sierra Summer, which was all point-and-click Sierra games for the whole month of June. So fun. I had fun with it. Again, this was a game I had never played before, oddly enough. But it was a pretty, like, it had a serious story, but I think because of the way Tim Curry acted, he voiced the main character, made it kind of silly, even though it was supposed to be like a serious story. But for replay or for fun, I give it a 4. Yeah, it was a cool game. Took place in New Orleans. You know, I had the story was kind of about voodoo cults and things like that. It was pretty good. Replayability, I got to be honest with myself here. You know, would I choose to replay it? Probably not. And would I have fun playing it again? I would have fun because of the way Tim Curry acts in the game, but I don't think I would have as much fun playing it like a second time as I did the first time. So I'm gonna give it a 2 because I just don't think it's something that I would ever return to purposefully. Gameplay, again, a point and click adventure. There's not a ton of gameplay in it, but it was fine. There wasn't anything inherently bad about it. There wasn't any jankiness that I recall. I'll give it a 4. And then sound, I'm trying to remember, kind of like the Robin Hood game. There wasn't anything very memorable about it. It was also not a lot of music, and the sound effects were kind of sparse. I'm gonna give it a 2. So yeah, Gabriel Knight, 12 out of 20. Golden Axe, which I just beat last week, actually. That was the 39th game that I beat on stream in my road to 40 games, which turned into 41 games. Okay, Golden Axe. How fun is it? It's really fun. In fact, playing it last week, I remembered how much fun I had with it. Do I think it's a perfect 5? Probably not. So I'm going to give it a 4. Replayability, also a 4, because it is a game that I could see myself jumping back into and just, you know, like I like to just fire up my retro games every once in a while and just play them. And that's one that I could certainly do that with. Gameplay, there's various things that, you know, I'm like, oh man, I wish they had done this instead. You know, like one of the things that annoys me is like you get locked into like an animation, you know, animation lock, and the enemy can attack you when you're doing that, and there's nothing you can do about it except for just take the hit because you're animation locked. But again, overall, not a game that has really a lot that's bad about it as far as gameplay. And then sound, I'm gonna give it a 4 as well. Sound effects are really good, and the music is really good. If this category was just music, it would probably be a 5. But since sound, I'm including music and sound effects. Oop, knocked Mario over. So sound, I'm giving it a 4. So 16 out of 20 is not bad. Golden Axe 2, which was the 40th game that I beat on stream. Just beat that last week as well. Fun. Yeah, just as much fun as the first game. Replayability, I'm gonna give it a 3 actually, because if I was gonna replay either of these games, I would go to Golden Axe 1 before Golden Axe 2. So I'm gonna give it a 3 on replayability. Gameplay though, still a 4. I would say slightly better than Golden Axe 1, but not enough to give it a 5. This would be like, if I was doing half points, I would give this like a 4.5. And then sound effects, I think, are actually a little bit better than the first Golden Axe, but the music is a little bit worse. Not as good. So I'm gonna give it a 3. Like some of the music in Golden Axe 2, like some of it has that, like, I feel like a lot of Sega Genesis games have the like kind of funky, groovy style music to it, and Golden Axe 2 has some kind of like funkiness to the music, and it just doesn't fit with a Golden Axe game. Till you get to like the last level has like fits more with Golden Axe and is probably better than all of the music in Golden Axe 1, but it was just the very last level. So we're gonna give that a 3. All right, so we got 4, 3, 7, 10, 14. Okay, so we got a 14 out of 20 for Golden Axe 2. All right, then we got Goldeneye, Fun. Goldeneye is so good. I'm gonna give it a 5. Replayability. Oh, see, that one is tough because it's one of those where, yes, I love the game, and I have a blast when I play it, but it's not one that I think I would revisit anytime in the near future. And it's not one that I would probably like play on my own, like if I was gonna fire up, you know, my retro consoles. But if I did replay it, I would have a lot of fun with it because it's a really good game. So I'm gonna give it a 4. Gameplay, and this one's gonna be tough because there's a lot of factors here. The controls, again, playing them as a 45, well, I was 44 at the time, this past summer when I played it, but playing it, you know, as a 44-year-old versus, when did it come out? 98? Oh, 97. So I was 16, 17 years old. I don't know, for some reason the 64 controller didn't seem as difficult back then. I feel like GoldenEye now had a little bit more of a learning curve, just like getting used to the N64 controller. The game also has some jank to it. Not a ton, but it's got some. I'm gonna give it a 3. And then sound, and if I could give it a 4.5, I would. But I'm gonna go with 4. The sound effects are good, has very memorable music. I don't know. Do I want to give it a 5? I kind of want to give it a 5. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with a 4. Again, if I was just doing music, it would be a 5. So we got, let's see, 4, 9, 12. We got 16 out of 20 for GoldenEye. Not as high as I was thinking. I was kind of thinking it might be like an 18 plus, but yeah, we'll go with 16. The Goonies II on NES. Again, this was another first time playthrough for me. How much fun did I have playing it? Probably a 3. It wasn't one of my favorites that I played. But it wasn't like an inherently bad game. Replayability, 2. Gameplay, there was a lot I did not like about the Goonies 2. Specifically, the map was confusing as hell. Because it was like, you had 2 maps, and the world was kind of like, there was the front, and then there was the back. And figuring out like, okay, when you're on the front, you know, where are you on the back of the map? And then there was the whole section with like, there was like the Friday the 13th sections, like, you know, in that game, like when you're in the cabins and you press up to go forward and you press, you know, left, and it, you know, it's trying to be 3D, but they couldn't do 3D back then. So it was just, I didn't really enjoy those sections too much. And then, sound, again, nothing terribly memorable about the sound. Again, sound is music and sound effects in the game. Now the digitized version of the Cyndi Lauper song, you know, that was kind of funny, but the rest of the music was just okay. Sound effects, nothing very memorable. I'm gonna give it a 2 as well. So we got another 9 for the Goonies 2. Going back into some more point and click adventures here. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Fun. How much fun did I have with it? I had a lot of fun. It was a 5. Like, I love Indiana Jones. I love point and click adventure games. You know, it had just the right amount of silliness. It had a cool original Indiana Jones story. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Replayability. Because when I'm thinking of replayability, I'm not only thinking like, would I stream it again, but would I play it like in my own time offline? It's a game that I would revisit like 5 years from now, because I was like, oh, remember the time I Played Indiana Jones and Fate of Atlantis on stream. I haven't played that in a long time. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to give it a 3 for that reason. So gameplay, again, we're talking point and click adventures, not a whole ton of gameplay involved in these games. Although something I didn't think about until just now, which I probably should have for the other point and click adventures, is the puzzles. Those are a big part of point and click games. So the puzzles weren't like they were good level of difficulty for me. Like they weren't so difficult where I felt like I had to go online. I don't think I did that in our playthrough. I don't remember going online to like figure out a puzzle. You know, some may have taken me longer than others, but I think the difficulty of the puzzles was pretty good. I'm gonna give it a 4. And then sound, trying to remember again, I don't feel like the sound was anything memorable. Like it wasn't inherently bad. There was nothing bad about it, but I'm gonna give it a 3. Yeah, it was just kind of middle of the road. So let's see. We got 5, 8, 15. All right, Jeto Moto 2. We're going back into some PS1 games here. Fun. How much fun did I have playing it? I had a lot of fun. It was the first time that I had replayed this since I was a kid. I mean, I say kid, I was a teenager, but that's a kid. Teenager's a kid. And I had a lot of fun replaying it. Now, is it a 4 or is it a 5? It's gonna be a 4, and I'll get to that in the gameplay. Replayability would probably be a 4. Again, I'll get to it from the gameplay. The game is hard, and again, it's a control thing. And going back to what I was saying about like Crash Bandicoot or Goldeneye 64, is like, is it inherently bad to control, or is it just my old man brain having a harder time with it than, you know, 14-year-old me did? But I have to score these based on how I feel now, right? Like I'm not taking, if I played any of these games as a kid, I'm not taking that into consideration. I'm just ranking them based on playing them this year in 2025. And the gameplay to me is a 3. Now, fun and replayability are both 4s. Replayability because I would want to play this more to get better at it. And then hopefully my old man brain would, you know, have a better time with the controls. Because if you watch that stream, I struggled with it a lot. It was just straight up the controls, and I would have fun replaying it, trying to get better at it. So that's why gameplay, I'm giving it kind of a low score, but fun and replayability kind of high. And then sound, also a 4. I don't think it's perfect, but the music, super good. In fact, it's so good, again, my opinion, is like I have like tons of music on my phone. I use it like in my car with the Bluetooth for listening to music. I actually put the soundtrack on my phone so that the songs would, you know, I have like, I don't know, 2,000 songs ranging from, you know, my favorite bands to video game music. And I put Jeto Moto 2 on there so that it would randomly come up, you know, as I'm playing music while I'm driving. So we got 12, 15 out of 20. Pretty good. All right. Journey to Silius. Very difficult game. This is probably one of my most proud moments on stream because it's an incredibly difficult game, and I beat it on original hardware, not using save states. Super proud that I challenged myself to do that. So fun. How much fun did I have? Well, if I enjoyed the game enough that I wanted to be able to beat it without using save states, I think that says a lot. I'm going to give it a 5. Now, replayability. Am I going to go back and replay this game anytime soon? No. I beat the game, no save states on original hardware. Unless I was going to speedrun it, I don't see myself jumping back into this anytime soon. I'm going to give it a 3. Gameplay is a pretty solid game. It's difficult, but there wasn't any jank to it. You know, the controls were good. It's responsive. I'm going to give it a 4. The sound effects and such in the game are okay, but the music is so good. I'm going to give it a 5. It's just, in my opinion, like the music is so good that it compensates for the sound effects being just kind of okay. Yeah, so that's where we're going. So we got what, 17? All right, the Karate Kid. I'm actually interested to see how I'm going to score this, since you know, I not only played it as just something I wanted to revisit from my childhood, but it kind of reignited my interest in speedrunning, and I've played it an awful lot. I'm currently 39th in the world. Fun. I'm gonna give it a 4, because while I am enjoying the game enough to speedrun it, it does make me angry sometimes. Replayability, I mean, I speedrun it, so it's got to be a 5. I've replayed it I don't know how many times since that first time. Gameplay is a 3. This game is a platforming. It's not even really a platformer. I guess it's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up is really what it is. But what makes it hard, and why I'm giving it a 4 instead of a 5 out of 5 for fun, is because it doesn't have iframes. And iframes, if you don't know, it's short for invincibility frames. So like, you know, like in Mario, you get hit by an enemy and Mario kind of flickers and you're invincible for like a second. That does not happen in this game. And if you, like, the enemies can come from either side of you, and if you get caught, like one enemy punches you and knocks you back, and then the enemy behind you hits you and knocks you forward, you can get like juggled between them. And if you get caught in a bad spot, like, you could just die. Like, they'll just keep juggling you until your health goes all the way down. That's probably the biggest thing for me. For that sound, it's got some good music. Not outstanding. Sound effects are okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 as well. We got a 15. King's Quest V, another point and click adventure. How much fun did I have with it? It was a 4. I think it was a good game. I love the King's Quest series. 6 is especially my favorite. Replayability, probably a 2. And for just like, it's not a game that, again, that I would revisit anytime soon. Gameplay, again, taking into account like puzzles and the difficulty of the puzzles. I think there was 1 or 2 times I might have referred to the internet to solve a puzzle, because I don't think it's a 4, but I think it's better than a 3. But I'm gonna give it a 3. And then sound, voice acting was good. I don't really recall much in the way of the music or pew pew, really any of the sound effects. I mean, none of it was bad, but again, wasn't particularly memorable. I'm gonna give it a 3. All right, so we got a 12 out of 20 for King's Quest V. Leisure Suit Larry, another Sierra game that was part of our Sierra summer. How much fun did I have playing? I'm gonna give it a 5 right off the bat, because I love the kind of more adult adult-centric humor. It was kind of fun and refreshing to play a game that was, you know, geared more towards adults, and they weren't afraid to, you know, kind of go over the line a little bit with some of the humor. Replayability, would I replay this anytime soon? No. I'm gonna give it a 2. Gameplay, because of the nature of the game, is a very like very sexual game. Some of the puzzles were kind of funny, just like with the objects that you used or in the way that you would use some of the objects. There wasn't, again, anything inherently bad about it. I'm gonna give it a 3. And then sound, was it voice acted? I don't think it was voice acted, because Leisure Suit Larry is a very early Sierra title. I'm gonna give it a 3 too, because again, it wasn't bad, but it was just kind of nothing spectacular, I guess. Let's see, we got 6, 8, what was that, 13? All right, Leisure Suit Larry, 13 out of 20. We'll go back up to, we got a couple 3 modern games here. Just this past October. You know, I like to do some kind of spooky games, and we actually went modern this year. So we got Little Nightmares 1, 2, and 3, because I played them all in a row. So what was the fun? Little Nightmares 1, it's a fun game. I enjoy that style of like kind of puzzle game. But I think it was a 4. Replayability, so I'm gonna give it 2, because I just don't see myself ever going back in. Actually, I'm gonna give it a 1. Let's see, the gameplay for Little Nightmares, I think it's a 4. It's not bad. It's not a perfect game, so it's hard for me to want to give it a 5, but it's better than good, I would say. The puzzles, it is a puzzle game, light on the puzzles. They're good, not very difficult at all. I would say it's a 4 though. The sound is really good. Does it have music? I don't remember there being much music. But the sound effects are really, really top tier. Like again, I'm not doing half scores, so I kind of want to give it a 3.5. I'm torn. I'm gonna give it a 4 because the sound effects are just that good. So we got 4, 12, 13. Okay, Little Nightmares 2. I have a feeling these scores are gonna be roughly the same, although maybe the scores are gonna diminish with each one, because I do think Little Nightmares 1 is the best, 2, and then 3 in that order. But fun, I had just as much fun with Little Nightmares 2. Replayability, again, only reason I replayed this is because we decided to go through all three games in a row. Again, like the first game, don't see myself jumping back into it anytime soon. Gameplay, so here's a question. I don't think the gameplay is any worse than the first game, but it's not any better. Like they added, you know, the second character, but did they really do enough with the second game? Like, I kind of want to give it a 3, because I feel like for the sequel, you want to make it better, and it's just kind of the same. So if it's the same, then you really didn't change anything. I mean, I don't know what you would do gameplay wise to improve it from the first game, but when you don't really change anything about it, like, it's either going to be the same, it's going to be a 4, or it's going to be, I'm going to knock off a point because they didn't do anything to improve it or change it up from the first game. And then sound, I'm going to give it a 4, just like the first game. All right, so where are we at? We got 4, 5, 8, 12. Oh yeah, because I gave it 1 less point. All right, and then Little Nightmares 3, the fun aspect, yeah, I had just as much fun. But again, replayability, it's a 1. It's a one and done game. I don't see myself revisiting it, even if there's a Little Nightmares 4, you know, 4 years down the road. Gameplay, I'm gonna keep it at a 3, and then the sound, yeah, just as good as the other two. Not much in the way of music, but the sound effects still really good. So that's also got a 13 out of 20. All right, where are we at? Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid. So fun. How much fun did I have playing Metal Gear Solid? I had a lot of fun. Game's real good. I'm gonna give it a 5. Like, it's as fun as a video game could be to me. Replayability, no, I'm gonna give it a 4. I was gonna give it a 3, but the game is so good. If I replayed it, I would have just as much fun. Game is really good. There are some aspects, kind of like some of the other games I was talking about, whereas like my old man brain has had a harder time with some of the stuff versus like kid me had. But I think the learning curve on that was easier for me to get used to than say like Goldeneye 64. I'm gonna give it a 4. And then sound is a 5. It has really good music. Like the sound effects in the game are really good. I can't, like, the voice acting is really good. I really can't think of anything bad in the sound category for Metal Gear Solid. I'm gonna give it a 5. So this is our second 19 out of 20 game. I kind of thought this would be a higher, like I thought for sure it'd be 18 or 19. All right, so we're on to Robocop for NES. How much fun did I have playing it? I had a pretty good time, I think, chat. I had enough fun with it that I wanted to go back because I wanted to beat it. So I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Replayability, is it a game I feel like I'm gonna revisit? No, but it has good replayability. I mean, it took me, I don't know how many attempts to beat it, but I enjoyed it enough that many attempts to beat it didn't make it less fun. So I'm gonna give it a 4. Gameplay, I'm gonna give it a 3 because the game, it feels like very stiff, and that might be on purpose because you're playing Robocop. Sound was pretty good. Music was good. I mean, it was good enough that I wrote my own song. I shoot the bad guys, yeah. I am Robo, I am a cop. I'm gonna punch you in the dick. I'm gonna give it a 4. Like, his gun sounds like the gun in the movie. And for an NES game, that's pretty good, I feel like. So 17 points, 17 out of 20, it's not too bad. I think that scored a little higher than I was kind of thinking it might be. All right, then we have Sam & Max Hit the Road, another Sierra point and click adventure. Fun. This one was a lot of fun. Super silly game. Just completely absurd. Nothing about it was serious, and laughed my ass off playing it. I mean, it was a good game. Replayability, probably a 3. Like, the only time I would probably revisit this is in a future Sierra summer down the road, like, you know, 5 years down the road, when we've already played through all the Sierra games and we have to start going back to the ones we played. Gameplay, yeah, there wasn't anything inherently bad about it. The puzzles weren't always super obvious because the game was so silly that they were just like, random object, put these two together and make puzzle go, you know. But that was maybe just my own brain. So I'm gonna give it a 4. And then the sound, was there much music in? I feel like the Sierra games they didn't really have music in the games too much. But the sound effects were all really good. It was voice acted. The voice acting was really good. I'm gonna give it a 4. Like it is a really well made game, just kind of all around. So we got 8, 8, 16. On to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I would say it's a 4. Replayability, a 4. Like it's a game that I would definitely go back to on my own, whether I was like, you know what, I want to stream the game, or I just want to play it offline on my own time. Gameplay, I'm gonna give it a 3 because there's a lot of aspects where like it's slower, and I don't like that. Like one of the things I love about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is how fast it feels when you're playing it. Like you just feels like you're going really fast the whole time. That's the whole point of Sonic. And I feel like Sonic 3 and Knuckles kind of rein that in a little bit. And then sound, it's a 4. The music's really good. You got the you got the Michael Jackson songs in there, reworked into Sonic songs. Sound effects, you know, it's a Sonic game, they're all good. So let's see, we got another, so we got 15 out of 20. Sonic 2, fun, 5. Replayability, 5. I don't know how many, I've played this on stream multiple times. Okay, I'm gonna give sound a 5. I'm debating in my head whether gameplay is a 4 or a 5. Yeah, it's gonna be a 5. It's gonna be a perfect 20 out of 20 game. I just really can't think of anything that I dislike so much that, yeah, it's a 20 out of 20 game. Soulcalibur. So we got, so fun. I love a good fighting game, especially the Soulcalibur games. I think it's a 5. Replayability, also a 5. Really, because it's a game that maybe not on stream, but that I could jump into in my own time. Be like, oh, I've got 20-30 minutes to kill, I'm just gonna play some Soulcalibur. Gameplay, I'd say it was a 4. There's not really much I can think, like I don't think it's a perfect game, but there's really not a whole lot bad about it, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. And then sound, probably also a 4. Has really good music. It's got, you know, a little bit of voice acting. The music's good. I think an 18 out of 20 is a solid score. Space Quest 4, Roger Wilco and the Time Rippers. How much fun did I have playing this game? Had a lot of fun. Again, kind of like Sam & Max, super silly game. It was sci-fi, which, you know, I love. Poked a lot of fun at like various sci-fi games, or well, not just games, but like movies, you know, obviously tons of Star Wars jokes and things like that, Star Trek. Replayability, probably a 2. Like some of the other games, it's not something that I would replay again unless we were revisiting it on a future Sierra summer, because we ran out of Sierra games to play. Gameplay, there were certain parts. The thing with Sierra games is they're definitely, like, your character can definitely die, so there's like things that happen or that you have to do, and if you don't do them, like there's that whole part in the mall with the anti-gravity that, like, I kept getting killed and it was annoying the hell out of me, but I'll give it a 3. And then the sound, was it voice acted? I think it was voice acted, but like the other Sierra games, there was nothing, like the voice acting was good, but sound effects, there wasn't much in the way of music. I'll give it a 3 though. We got a 15 out of 20 there for Space Quest 4. Or wait, no, 13, right? Yeah, 13. I math good. Splinter Cell 2002. Fun. I love me some stealthy games. In fact, Splinter Cell series, especially at least the first 3 games, some of my favorite stealth games. I had a lot of fun with it. Replayability, if this was Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, it'd be a 5 out of 5. This one is probably a 4. Like, I would definitely replay this on my own, but it probably wouldn't be for like a few years down the road. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I want to play the original Splinter Cell again. Gameplay is a 4. Super innovative at the time. You know, the using sound, or the sound being part of your, you know, stealth, having to like walk slowly to avoid like your footsteps being too loud. Voice acting is really good. The like action parts with, you know, using your guns and different utilities, all done really well. So that's a 4. Sound, again, like, because sound is a big part of the stealth aspect of the game, sound is really good. The voice acting really good. Michael Ironside, I mean, again, this, I want to give it a 4.5, but I'm not doing half scores, so I'm just gonna give it a 4. So we got, let's see, got 12, so we got another 17 out of 20. Super Mario Brothers Remastered. So this was a ROM hack. Somebody took the first Super Mario Brothers game and just updated the graphics. Did I have fun with it? Yeah, it's a 4 out of 5. Replayability, not very high, a 2. It's kind of like a one and done game. The gameplay, gameplay is a 4. I mean, the remastered version, I don't think there was anything really changed from the original game. I think it was mostly graphical, but the Super Mario 1 is a very solid game. In sound, good sound effects, music is good, memorable. I'll give it a 4. So we got 12, so we got 14 out of 20. Nice. Super Mario Brothers 3. Actually, I forgot that I played this one on stream. Fun. Well, this is my favorite Super Mario game. Is it a perfect 5 out of 5? This would also probably be like a 4.5 if I was doing half scores. Replayability, I mean, I could definitely jump into this game anytime and have fun, but would I have to be honest with myself, so I'm gonna give it a 3. Gameplay is probably a 4. I mean, it's just a really well made game, improved on a lot of stuff from the previous 2 games. It's just a all around good game. And then sound effects, music, all of that's really good. Again, I don't think it's a perfect game, but I think that's pretty good. 15 out of 20. That seems fair. Super Mario Land 2 for the Game Boy. This was another first time playthrough for me. How much fun did I have playing it? I had a good amount of fun. Doesn't feel like a 4, but it doesn't, like 3 seems too low, but I'm gonna give it a 3. Replayability, pretty much non-existent for me. I'm gonna give it a 1. I just don't see any reason for me that I would go back and play it. Gameplay is a solid game, just like any Mario game. They're really well made, and for a Game Boy game, like, you know, like controls really responsive. Again, not perfect, but I'll give it a 4. And sound, so it's a Game Boy game. That audio in Game Boy games weren't the best, but they were pretty good for being that handheld system. But I'm gonna give it a 3 because I don't think it's quite a 4. So we got 3, we got 4, 8, 11. All right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES. Fun. I mean, I love this game. This is a childhood favorite. This was also my first time beating this game ever. It's also a game I could see myself speed running. I mean, a game's got to be pretty fun for me to want to speed run it. So I'm gonna give it a 5. Replayability, a 5 for all the same reasons. Gameplay, this game definitely has a lot of jank. So I'm gonna give it a 3 because and not even because like the difficulty, but there's just, I don't know, there is some jank to it. The sound is, I think, pretty good. Music, super memorable. We got another 17. Okay, I'll take it. And then sticking with TMNT, last night's game, which I was not anticipating that I was gonna beat. It was just a kind of a filler game, really, because it was something I wanted to check out. But I ended up beating it last night. So this was the 41st and last game that I beat on stream in 2025. This was also a ROM hack. So they took Streets of Rage 2 and turned it into a Turtles beat 'em up. And it was really well done. So let's see, fun, I would say a 4. Replayability, probably also a 4. Because really at the end of the day, this is Streets of Rage 2 with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles skin, you know, over top. The gameplay is a solid 4, and the sound, all the sound from this ROM hack is from Streets of Rage 2. I think there's very little in the way of like new sound that was put in the game, at least that I could tell. They didn't add a bunch of cowabungas and radicals and things in the game. But, you know, Streets of Rage 2 is a very solid game. So I'm going to give it a 4. So we got a 16 out of 20 on that. All right, The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap. Fun. I had a lot of fun with it. In fact, more fun than I think I was anticipating, even though it was a Zelda game. And I love Zelda games. This was also a first time playthrough for me, so it's a 4. Replayability, if I'm gonna be honest, it's probably gonna be a 2. It's not a lot of reasons for me to want to jump back in. Like maybe a couple years down the road, I'll want to replay it again because I've only played it once. Gameplay in this one, really solid. I can't really think of anything that was inherently bad about it. Was it perfect? Maybe not, but it was super fun. I'll give it a 4. And then sound, also a 4. Like, music is good, sound effects, you know, it's a Zelda game. It's kind of like Super Mario Brothers. Like, they're just generally good games all around, always. All right, so we got 12, so 14 out of 20 on that one. The Secret of Monkey Island. Should I just give this a 20 out of 20 now? Fun. It's a 5. Replayability. I discussed this earlier. 5. I can replay it anytime and always have as much fun as any other time that I've played it. Gameplay. I mean, I'm really trying to think of maybe something negative about. Now, I will say some of the puzzles are probably pretty not obvious, especially like when you're on the boat and you're trying to make that secret recipe, and some of the ingredients you have to use in replace of other ingredients is not super obvious. I know it because I've played this game a million times, but again, I'm going with how I feel about it, not how, you know, somebody maybe playing it for the first time would feel. I'm gonna give it a 5. sound, you know what? I'm gonna give it a 3 because it has good music. I don't know, maybe because it's just an older game. You know, not playing the remastered one that has like the voice acting and stuff. You know, it's an older game, so it just doesn't have as all the bells and whistles as some of the newer games. But it's not. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 4. F it. Almost a perfect game. 19 out of 20. Okay, Thief: The Dark Project. This was also another first-time playthrough. There was a lot of first-time playthroughs this year, which was really cool. Fun. How much fun did I have playing it? There was one aspect of the game that I had a really hard time with, and I persevered and pushed through it. And that was more of a result of because I was streaming the game and I have an ultra wide monitor, and the game natively does not play that way, and I had to use some trickery to play it at a specific resolution, and for whatever reason, when doing that, disabled the gamma setting, so the game was like in the very, very dark areas of the game were pretty much pitch black to me, because the game was really dark. I have 2 bright lights in my face. It made it really hard to see. Now, if I had played this just on my own, not streaming it, that probably wouldn't have been a factor. In fact, it wouldn't have been a factor because I would have just played it without forcing a specific resolution, and I would have been able to adjust the gamma on it. But it was a stealth game. It was kind of the grandfather of stealth games. Like, it preceded Hitman and Splinter Cell, but I had a good amount of fun playing it, despite how dark it was. Replayability, probably a 2. I don't see myself ever going back and playing it. Gameplay, I have to take into account the way it played because I streamed it. Like, I can't score it based on if I hadn't streamed it, and the gamma issue would have been a non-issue. And for an older game, there was some jank. It tried to use sound a little bit for the stealthy aspects, and it wasn't always perfect. You know, like, you'd try to sneak and like the enemies would still always hear you. I'm gonna give it a 3. And then the sound, it had some voice acting, not a lot. I don't really recall much in the way of the music. I think there was music like when you were detected, right? I think when an enemy was attacking, I think there was like, kind of battle music, but it wasn't anything. I'm gonna give it a 3. So we got a 12 out of 20 for Thief. Toe Jam and Earl, Panic on Funkotron. Another first time playthrough for me. How much fun did I have? It was okay. It was a 3. Replayability, probably a 1. Like, this is probably another one and done kind of game. The gameplay was all right. Sometimes the gameplay got on my nerves a little bit. The sound was all right. It had some good funky music. Sound effects were kind of funny. It was a silly game. I'll give it a 4. It had some good funky tunes. So that gives us an 11 out of 20. Toonstruck. How much fun did I have playing that? It was pretty fun. Is it a 5 fun? I don't know if it was a 5 fun. It was a 4 fun. Replayability, not a lot of replayability for me, because it's just not one that I feel like I would go back and play. If I did, I would have fun replaying it because it's such a bonkers of a game that I would enjoy it, but I'm gonna give it a 2 because I just don't think I would go back to it. The gameplay, man, I played that. I think I played it right after Lucas Fest last January. So it was like, it's been almost a year since I played this. But I don't remember there really being anything bad about it. The puzzles, there were some things that were, some puzzles a little difficult, a little hard to figure out, but it was a pretty good difficulty. It wasn't too bad. I don't remember a lot of pixel hunting that you sometimes get with a point and click adventure. I'll give it a 4. The sound was okay. It was voice acted. Voice acting was good. I mean, Christopher Lloyd was the main character. He had his little cartoon sidekick, who was voiced by Dan Castellaneta, who is the voice of Homer Simpson and 100 other characters on The Simpsons. Tress MacNeille, she did the voice of the BDSM cow. Do you remember that? In fact, that clip went viral on TikTok when I posted it. So I'll give it a 4, mostly because of the voice acting. The voice acting was really good. So we'll give that a 14. All right, Twisted Metal 2. These are our last 2 games, and then we're going to get to the actually ranking all the games. So Twisted Metal 2, how much fun did I have? It's a 4. It's not a perfect game, but it's definitely really fun. Replayability is also probably a 4 because it's another one of those games where I might not stream it again, but it's a game that I could jump in and play it for 30 minutes and then be good. And I could do that, you know, over and over again and never get bored of it. Gameplay, I'm gonna give it a 3 because it's not perfect, but it's got some, I guess you could say, jankiness. It just, some of the, maybe the vehicles are like hard to control and hard to aim at the same time. The sound is really good. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's got good music. The sound effects of like the different vehicles, you know, the different sounds of like all the different weapons, pretty good. So I think a 4 sounds right. So we got 12, 15 out of 20. Okay, and the last game on our list, Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders. Another LucasArts game. Very silly. How much fun did I have playing it? Probably a 3, and I'll get to why when we get to gameplay. Replayability, probably a 2. And gameplay, I'm gonna give it a 3. Mostly because if you're playing that game for the first time, you have, what is it, 4 playable characters. Like knowing which character you need to be in, like which location they need to be in and which item they need to have in their inventory to solve different puzzles. Really hard. It's a pretty difficult game as far as point and click adventure games go. The actual, like, you know, again, the gameplay, point and click, there's not a lot of you point and you click. It's a silly game. I think 3 is appropriate. Sound, also a 3. It's a very middle of the road game in my opinion. So we got 9, 10, 11 out of 20. Actually kind of surprised about that. I feel like LucasArts games in general I would rank high, but only 11 out of on that one. All right, so that is all 41 games have been scored, chat. So let's rank them, shall we? Okay. So Blaster Master, 17. So that's an S tier game. Broken Sword is a 14. Honestly, seems kind of high now. It's an A game. Castlevania Symphony of the Night is 16. So that is an A game. Conquests of the Longbow, this only had 9 points. Damn it, where is it? There it is. Crash Bandicoot is a 13. That's an A. Doom 64 is 15. So that's also an A. Full Throttle is a 19. That's a S game, S tier. Gabriel Knight is a 12. Golden Axe is a 16. It's gonna be a lot of A tier games. Golden Axe 2 is a 14. Goldeneye 16. The Goonies 2 is a 9. Poor Goonies. Indiana Jones: The Fate of Atlantis is a 15. Jeto Moto 2 is a 15. Journey to Silius 17. Karate Kid 15. King's Quest 5 is a 12. Leisure Suit Larry is a 13. Wait, what is 5? The 12. Leisure Suit Larry just sneaking in with the A tier. Little Nightmares. We got 13, 12, and 13. We got 13, 12, 13. Metal Gear Solid is a 19. That's an S tier. Robocop 17. Sam & Max 16. Oh wait. Oh, Robocop I gave 17. That's a S. Like, I almost wonder if maybe I should adjust the points on the tiers. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is 15. Sonic 2 is a 20. Wait, Sonic, yeah, 15. Sonic 2, I think Sonic 2 is my only 20 out of 20 game. Soulcalibur is an 18. Space Quest is 13. Soulcalibur is Splinter Cell 17. Super Mario 1 Remastered is 14. Super Mario 3 is a 15. Super Mario Land 2 is an 11. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is 17. Shredder's Revenge is 16. Minish Cap 14. Secret of Monkey Island 19. I should put that next to Sonic 2 because those are my two highest rated games, or scored games. Thief the Dark Project is at 12. Panic on Funkotron's an 11. Toonstruck is 14. Twist Metal 2 15. Zak McKracken 11. Okay, there we go. There is the completed tiered list of all 41 games I beat on stream. I mean, if anything, if I wanted to maybe reduce the amount of S tier games, you know, I could say maybe it's just 19 to 20, which would be 2 games, or even like 18 to 20, which would cut this down quite a bit. Okay. That feels a little better to me, because for something to be an S tier, it's got to be like super good, and I feel like having only 5 games be an S tier is a little bit more accurate, a little more fitting.